thank you for choosing Kenya as your first port of call as you begin your maiden visit as Secretary of State to our wonderful continent. Thank you for affirming Kenya's salience in the foreign policy of the United States and for affirming and reassuring us of the strength of this friendship. We have just concluded a ministerial meeting, the second one of the U.S. bilateral strategic dialogue, which I co-hosted with my colleague. We discussed a variety of issues of common concern, whether it was COVID-19 recovery and the support that we have received from the United States of America, especially the large consignment of vaccine donations that we have recently received. And we also recalled the very, very strong relationship that the United States has with Kenya's health sector in so many variety of areas. We discussed multilateral cooperation, especially within the context of the United Nations Security Council. We also touched on the pressing regional issues in our region and on our continent. We looked at the ways in which we could invigorate trade and investment. We touched on peacekeeping, the huge mandate that is required on our continent. And we also touched on environment and climate issues, which are very dear to the United States of America and also to Kenya.
For decades, Kenya and the United States have worked together to build that future. And today our governments are partners on virtually every critical issue we face, both through our bilateral relationship, but also the work we're doing regionally and through institutions like the United Nations Security Council, where Kenya is serving a 2-year term and held the presidency very productively last month. Beyond our governments, our countries are deeply, deeply connected. Business ties, partnerships between our civil societies, family and cultural ties going back generations. Tens of thousands of people in the United States very proudly claim their Kenyan heritage, including my former boss, President Obama. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, thousands of Americans traveled here every year to experience Kenya's hospitality for themselves, and they will again. We are working to accelerate the global vaccine effort because, as we've said repeatedly, and we say it repeatedly because it is fundamentally true, no country, no region will be safe until we stop the pandemic everywhere. As long as the virus is replicating, it's likely to be mutating, and as long as it's mutating, it may well come back and defeat some of the vaccines that are so effective and that we put in place. On clean energy, Kenya is a model of investment in renewable energy, which now provides 90% of this country's power. And Kenya is one of the few countries worldwide that has set a target of 100% renewable energy by 2030. That's leadership, and leadership that, as I told the Cabinet Secretary and President Kenyatta, we like to be able to brag on around the world because it sets a powerful example. We're very proud to partner with Kenya on these efforts. For example, our Development Finance Corporation has facilitated nearly $600 million in investments in wind farms and other renewable projects in Kenya. And we want to do more work together in this space because clean energy infrastructure creates good jobs, it contributes to a stronger economy, and of course, it's critical in the fight against climate change. More broadly, we're proud of the strong economic relationship that our countries have built, which includes about $1 billion in annual two-way trade. And recent American private sector investments in Kenya across sectors, ranging from food processing to telecommunications, total more than $725 million, including $93 million in investments in Kenya's small and medium-sized enterprises generated through the great work of USAID. The attack yesterday in Kampala was a painful reminder of how vital it is that we continue to work together to improve security throughout East Africa. The United States offers its deepest condolences to those injured in the attacks and to the families and loved ones of those who were killed. We're grateful to Kenya for being our security partner. Our countries consult frequently on critical situations throughout the region. One place where we're both deeply concerned is Ethiopia.
The conflict there threatens not just that country, but its neighbors as well. I very much appreciate President Kenyatta's engagement on this, including at the United Nations and in person in Ethiopia. We're working closely with Kenya, the African Union, and its High Representative for the Horn of Africa, former Nigerian President Obasanjo, as well as other partners. Our Special Envoy, Jeff Feltman, is working with High Representative Obasanjo to press the parties to end hostilities immediately and without preconditions, to stop human rights abuses and violations, to provide humanitarian access for the millions in northern Ethiopia who are in dire need of life-saving supplies.